Are you ready to unlock growth, build resilience, and confidently take the next step in leadership, career, and faith? Welcome to The Next Move. I'm Orvin Kimbrough, a CEO, author, and leader with a passion for helping people and organizations thrive. My journey from foster care to CEO has fueled my mission to help professionals scale their confidence, leadership, and influence through mindset shifts, expanded networks, and bold action. Each week, I'll share reflections ripped straight from my blog to inspire and empower you with actionable insights. Let's get started and make your next move your best move. Welcome back to The Next Move, where we explore reflections on faith, leadership, and personal growth to help you take your next step with purpose and confidence. Today, I want to start with a question. Have you ever felt like you were not enough? Have you ever walked into a room and felt the weight of your failures pressing down on you, making you question your worth, making you question your future, making you question your purpose? I know that feeling intimately. When I flunked out of second grade, I wasn't just a kid who had to repeat a year. I was a kid who felt like the world saw me as a failure. And when I flunked out of college, that old familiar shame came rushing back. But let me tell you something. Failure is temporary. What defines you is your next move. What defines you is what you do next. Today, we're talking about resilience, about the moments that shake us, the voices that tell us we're not enough, and the fire inside that refuses to let those voices win. That fire that says, I'm going to prove the bastards wrong. If you ever question whether you have what it takes, if you've ever doubted your own potential, this episode is for you. Because I've been there and I know that the struggle is real, but so is the comeback. Let's dive in. When I flunked out of second grade, I was humiliated. I didn't want to go back. My stomach twisted in knots, my face burned with shame, and my chest felt heavy like a weight I couldn't shake. I preferred to go with mom, who had recently died, than face my class. Now, let's be clear. I didn't know the word humiliated back then. But here's what I felt. I felt deeply embarrassed. I thought I was a dumb, stupid kid. I was ashamed. It wasn't enough that I didn't have parents. I also felt ashamed because of that, because I was different from the rest. It reminds me of that hook in Kendrick Lamar's song, Not Like Us. Well, I wasn't like them. I felt powerless in my circumstance, and it was public because I had to go back to school the next year. Even after my mom died and I moved a block over, it wasn't far enough to be in a different school. So I was trying to adjust to being not like us on my new street, not like us in my new class, all in plain view of my old class. When I went to college, I repeated the cycle. I flunked out again. And all of the sadness from those early years came flooding back. But the stakes were different this time. My future was on the line. I have felt that same gnawing in the pit of my stomach during job interviews I just blown. Don't tell me I'm the only one. I know scripture says do not be anxious, but let me tell you, sometimes my body does what it does, and I have to really center myself to regain control. But one thing has never failed me: resilience. Even when I have fallen short, which is, in my mind, it's just temporary failure, because my mindset is everything. I have never attached permanence to negative experiences. Even when I have temporarily failed, there was an even more intense gnawing inside me saying, I'm going to prove the bastards wrong. You heard me. I have carried a fire within me, refusing to let circumstances dictate my worth. I was not born a nobody. I was born with a purpose, and I was going to prove it. Did you catch that? I wanted to be somebody because at some point, a priest at my local church read words to me from the Bible. I remember sitting on a worn wooden pew, feeling an unfamiliar sense of hope as he spoke about purpose and divine design. Those words stuck with me, igniting a spark that would later guide my journey. And when I started reading for myself, interpreting for myself, I found that it said God knew me before I was born. Can you believe it? The Bible said that God designed and created us with purpose. I struggled with that. I have to tell you, because I couldn't see how I could have a big purpose when I was born into a community that so many had written off. We knew the world had written us off. Just listen to the songs back then, the songs that reflected our reality. But then I went back to this God, and I went back to this Bible, which said I had a purpose and there was a plan for my life. I love that passage in Proverbs 16:3. Commit to the Lord whatever you do, and he will establish your plans. I believe this passage was in my spirit before anything else. At every juncture when I have been rejected, at every juncture when I have been tested, at every juncture when I have been stressed, I have said, Lord, if this is for me, I'm doing my part, you do yours. And if this is not for me, shut it down. And while I wait for the message, while I wait for the sign, while I wait for that nudge on the inside, I don't sit idle. I keep moving forward. I keep committing myself to the work as if I'm committing it to him, as if I am honoring him. Did you catch that? I kept committing myself to the work, honoring the Lord. This is what got me out of high school. This is what got me through college. This is what kept me focused when I faced challenges being accepted into my biggest roles. Do you realize I wasn't supposed to be CEO of any organization I've had the privilege to lead? There has always been someone else in the queue. When I came to the bank, I had my doubters, I had my haters, both inside the organization and outside. And it's amazing what's it like when your doubters, your haters operate in plain view, waiting to seize on any misstep. It's amazing when your doubters and haters, when they operate in plain view, waiting, and they are looking for any crack in your armor. And the truth is, I had plenty of cracks. I have always struggled with whether I was ready. I have always struggled with whether I was worthy. I have always struggled with whether I was mentally resourced. But guess what? I have never struggled with believing that I was spiritually resourced. Because even with anxiety and even with missteps, I kept putting my faith into action. Did you know that same fight is within you? You've overcome before. So what's stopping you now? Will you allow this moment to break you, or will you rise stronger and wiser? It's time to stand up and step forward. Reframe your thinking. As a kid, I loved Michael Jordan. Jordan's relentless work ethic and refusal to let failure define him made him one of the greatest athletes of all times. His story exemplifies that failure isn't the opposite of success. It's part of a journey. I remember thinking I could never be Michael Jordan on the court, but it didn't prevent me from trying to be like Mike. Then I realized I could be my own Mike. My gift was different. Your gift is different. Whether it's your ability to inspire, whether it's your ability to create, whether it's your ability to lead or your ability to serve, you are operating in your God-given purpose. Embrace it and let it shine. Your gift is going to make a way for you. Your gift might be challenged right now. You might be winded. You might be wounded, but don't stay down. As long as you have breath in your body, keep moving. Until next time. Thank you for tuning in to The Next Move. I hope today's reflection inspired you to take the next step in your leadership career or faith journey. If this episode resonated with you, share it with someone who might need a little encouragement this week. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. And if you'd like more reflections or resources, visit orvinkimbrough.com or theaccidentalbanker.com. Until next time, remember, every step you take brings you closer to thriving. Let's keep moving forward together.